Hello and welcome back to our Vlandian night. Now, we're in a bit of a spicy situation here, and maybe not in a good way, because, well, let's face it, you know, you might like some spicy food sometimes, every now and again, but in this case right now, I'm probably not entirely sure whether we would appreciate a massive army coming towards us and basically being like, hello there are many of my vassals surrounding you, and well, this would maybe be a bit of a problem then as a result. Anyway, as you can see, I've no doubt called for a whole bunch of vassals to join me. Some of them of varying strengths, of course, but I am a little bit in two minds about, well, a number of things. Oh, they're actually... Are you serious? Okay. Was there an army here? was there actually an army here? Because I'm thinking to myself that there isn't. And if that is not the case, they have made the most grievous of errors. Oh yes, because now I will be able to speak to this. Oh dear. Well, 100% this is not a clan leader. 100%. Nope. Akram is the clan leader. Alright, well, yeah, we're gonna fight then. I was actually hoping that maybe we could persuade one of them to maybe join us, or a couple of them, dependent on if they were the same clan or not. But this is very reminiscent of a couple of episodes back when we had a siege on our hands. I defeated the first army that came towards us, and then, well, then bad things happened after that. So this, I hope, will not be a repeat of those events, and we'll see if that is indeed the case. Yes, thank you. Okay, haha. Oh dear. Alright, so let me have a look here. Okay, so infantry shield wall, that's perfectly fine. Let's go for archers and loose formation, and we're going to see what the enemy decides to do. I would assume that they're going to charge in with their cavalry. That is generally the default behavior of Khuzait vassals. I can only hope that I have an exuberant amount of archers, do I? I have 49. Not an exuberant amount, so that's not particularly good, but okay. We'll try our best. Oh yes, by the way, I have just specced into a new trait that I don't believe we've ever had before, because I've never usually specced into one-handed, and it is one of the newer traits. Because the original Barney actually did spec into one-handed, however, he never got to this point because these traits are new. These traits are very much new, and oh dear. Oh dear. Right, yes, as you can no doubt see, we are having some problems, and the enemy's cavalry is where? Oh, they literally just charged at us. We are going to need to do something about these archers, because otherwise we are going to literally just die. So I'm trying to run a little bit of interference here by myself, I might add. It's probably not good, as you can see, definitely not good. And I really have no idea what to do, because the enemy's horse archers are harassing my archers, so they are obviously not going to be assisting my infantry in any way, but I can only just try to do some damage. Oh, God, there we go. Oh, that was actually a nice thrust right there. Not too bad. Take him down. Take him down, sir. Come on, Bruce. You can do a little bit better than that. Alright, so it seems like things are going a little bit better than I anticipated. I actually thought we were going to basically just lose almost immediately here, because the combat strength says that the Khuzait are much stronger than we are. Well, not much stronger, I'd say, but they do have the edge. And so far, that has proven to be quite important in these early stages. Ooh, okay, yeah, let's not get too ahead of ourselves though. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. It's still very early in the battle. I do not want to get Bruce killed. That is going to be the biggest thing. You cannot just run in there and get yourself killed when we still haven't even passed the halfway point. And this is going to be a very large and lengthy battle, so we definitely need to make sure that we don't lose too many people. We're going to move very, very slowly forward. And just be cautious. I know that seems a bit boring, you know, it does, you know. It generally, moving slowly in these kinds of situations is indeed a little bit tedious. But it is necessary for victory. At least at this point, I think it is. I mean, I think if I charged right now, I'd probably have some major problems because they are on the high ground. And while I would love to be able to do that, I'm kind of antsy about it. Oh. Okay, stay calm. Stay calm. We're fine. This is absolutely fine. There's a horse right here. Perfectly placed. Ah. Ow. Yes, this horse is not particularly fast, is it? No. It is not particularly fast, so this is going to be a bit problematic, but thankfully, thankfully I was able to get away. So yeah, this is exactly my point. You got to be aware of things as well in your surroundings. I was literally just not aware that there were enemy cavalry there, and that was it. That was the only reason. Okay, let's tell my horse archers to charge in here as well. We have so few archers that are actually any good. As you can see, there's mostly Sturgian woodsmen, Sturgian, well, low-tier units, and as we know, Sturgian units are, well, not exactly good. No, they are not exactly good in terms of equipment. That is true. Stats-wise, they're okay. But generally, yeah, they're a little bit difficult to use. Okay, so I'm going to basically just stay behind enemy lines. Stay behind enemy lines? No, stay behind allied lines right now. And we're just going to play the commander role for the most part. And we're just going to try to move a little bit closer every couple of seconds and just try to pretty much just prevent ourselves from getting killed, because at this point, this is usually when Bruce gets killed, or usually when I make a fatal error and it causes us to potentially even end up losing the entire battle. So let's have a look at the totals right now. As you can see, we're actually not even winning this by such a significant amount, although the combat strength says otherwise, because obviously each unit that we eliminate is going to have a certain combat strength value associated with it in comparison to the numbers. The numbers might not actually make that much of a difference at this point because, well, you can quite clearly tell that we're losing a huge amount of cavalry right now, which is really not very good, and that's the point. The cavalry is going to have a much higher combat strength value than most archers. So I am actually quite positive about the combat strength values at the moment, because that means that we've eliminated quite a few of the enemy's much stronger units. As a result, their combat strength has plummeted quite nicely. But obviously that is just, you know, a theory at the moment, because we don't really know what else they're going to be getting, and we know that this battle is going to last a very long time, because as you can see, we've basically not eliminated pretty much anyone on the enemy side, so we're going to need to get down to that, and hopefully once we continue to move forward, we will be able to. So let me just move forward here a little bit more. As you can see, the enemy cavalry is trying to do a little bit of damage. Oh, okay, hello. Should I charge my infantry? You know what? Let's charge my infantry in right now. Let's charge my infantry in. Let's get my archers up here real fast. I have literally no cavalry left. So, yeah, I have like 9. So that is awful. It is very bad. But maybe me charging in will give us the morale push that we potentially need. And, please don't die, Bruce. Are you serious? Come on now. Don't get poked in the leg or something. Did you see that? He literally got poked in the leg for like 20 damage. That was a complete waste. Complete waste of such a valuable resource. HP at this point is basically more important than gold. I would like to trade 1 million gold for an HP increase, because there are very few HP increasing traits, and the traits that do increase your HP are basically, in my opinion, pointless in comparison to the other option that you have in the skill tree. So I would love to see some HP traits actually make a return and actually be something that is worthwhile taking as a trait. There we go. Oh, nice damage. Did you see that? Oh, that was nice. Okay, that was a rare one, wasn't it? It was a rare one where I barely take any damage, actually none, and actually deal some. Pretty good, not too bad. Oh yeah, there we go. That's much better too. Very nice. Okay, so we are taking quite a bit of damage, but that is to be expected, of course. Oh, nice. That is to be expected with our units charging in here. But I think this is working quite nicely. Our archers consistently being updated in terms of their positioning and everything. Us being able to eliminate their cavalry. Oh, nice. Take out that Khuzait Lancer too. Okay, seems to be working quite well. Ooh, nice. Took him off his mount. That's all we wanted to do, really. And how are our forces doing? That is the whole point. Let us take a quick look. Okay, so my cavalry actually only has 11 now. Yes, that is pretty awful. But bear in mind that we are now fighting at pretty much the past the halfway point for the opponent's spawn area. And that is, all intents and purposes, quite bad. We do not really want to be fighting so close to where they appear, because that is going to then mean that they will, well, you know, do the thing where they appear and then they're full HP and then they just clobber everyone around that area. But unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to really retreat from this point. Okay, so we're going to just move my archers around about here. Let's reconsolidate. We're not going to retreat, but we're going to reconsolidate our lines, because as you can see, the infantry right here really does require a little bit of solidification potentially. And we're getting more reinforcements coming in, as you can see from behind us. Oh, hello. Yes. That guy was trying it, wasn't he? Yeah, he certainly was. Okay, so if I merge as well, if I merge my archers and infantry into the same lines, then they can kind of assist each other quite nicely. Unfortunately, as you can quite clearly tell, we are now being murdered. We're now being murdered, so let's charge in again. Let's charge in again, guys. Let's see if we can, try to get them to run away or something, because it seems to me like if we don't charge in, we're going to end up losing. Look at this. There we go. There we go. They're actually starting to fight back now. Very nice indeed. Okay, no, Bruce. No, Bruce. Do not do this. Do not. Why is he doing this? Do you see that? He just literally does it. He does it by himself. It's autopilot. I don't know. Don't know why he does that. Okay, let's tell my cavalry to charge in. Tell my horse archers to charge in as well, if they're not already. And, just basically stay alive. Bruce only has to stay alive to actually give us a slight victory here. Because if it goes to auto-delegation, it's gonna be bad. Now, I don't know whether you've noticed, but I'm actually... Ooh, close one. I'm actually trying to stay behind this small hill here in the center, because if I stay behind this hill, then the enemy's archers can't as easily deal damage to me. Oh. Well. Doesn't matter. Does it matter whether they deal damage to me? They can kill me no matter what, basically. Yes, this is very bad. This is extremely bad for me to have such a low health mount and generally just be such low HP. But as you can tell by the combat strength, I think we might actually have this in the bag. And this is exactly also the reason why I am very surprised most of the time why the auto delegation is so indecisive, because if it would literally just charge like they do in Warband Native, you know, I mean, obviously you can't really quote that or cite that as a reference, because the native base game of Warband doesn't actually have the after death camera or anything like that. So if you do die, then the battle ends immediately, which also I think, you know, I mean, obviously that was definitely fixed by mods, but I think that should have definitely been a basic feature that the game should have had, because who doesn't like watching their troops completely murder the enemy after they've been murdered by a lance in the face? You know, that's exactly what you like to see, isn't it? I mean, that's usually what happens to me, at least. Anyway, there's a victory. I am very surprised that we were able to do that. That is very cool. All right, so there you go. We actually did it. We lost 302 units total, but the enemy has lost everything. Oh yes, everything that they hold dear has fallen to the wayside. And we are now going to be letting everyone go as we do, because this does make a difference. I know. Maybe if you don't think so, then that's, you know, that's your own opinion, of course, but I personally feel like it does help quite a lot. Anyway, I'm probably not going to be taking too many prisoners here. I'm probably just going to take some tier 4 and tier 3. I'm not going to take too many, as I say, because I would like to try and keep ourselves relatively nimble. So if we do come across a situation where we're being attacked by a very large enemy force, that I will be able to make my way out of there quite easily. So there we go. Okay, that's pretty nice. And we still, and we're not over encumbered or anything like that from a huge amount of prisoners or anything. So that's good. And now we can actually continue the siege. Now we have to be a bit careful here, okay? Because we still have the potential for an enemy army to come out of nowhere. And we really don't want that, if at all possible. We really do not want that. Okay, well, oh, look at that. Look at that. That is actually amazing. Okay, so someone actually mentioned to me that the war reparations, right? Okay, so the war reparations apparently are a weekly or daily payment. And that is actually not happening for me. I'm not entirely sure why, but it is not happening for me. So when I accept this, they should be giving me a decent amount of cash per day or per week or whatever it may be. They are not. There is no payment whatsoever. As far as I'm aware, it is literally just a one-off payment of 4 dinars, which is kind of bad. I mean, generally, if they were giving, I don't know, 46 dinars per day, even that would still be pretty awful. And that's usually what they tend to offer. I'm going to decline this because obviously we are going to press our advantage as much as we possibly can. And it is highly unlikely that the Khuzait are going to be able to muster up the strength to attack us with such a significant force again. Ah, speaking of significant forces, yeah, what do you bet? What do you bet? You thought that as well. You know, every single time I go, you know what, they're probably not going to be able to muster the strength, blah, 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 etc. You know, they're not going to be able to attack us again. Every single time I do that, and then it goes to a cut, boom. Then there's an army just magically appearing out of nowhere. Yeah, that usually happens, isn't it? So I should probably stop saying it. Because then the game is just like, I will prove you wrong, sir. And then they come at us with a very large army indeed. And Tulag is indeed proving us wrong. So, not a big fan of that, thank you very much. But anyway, let's see what we can do here. Should I try using a trebuchet? I think most of you would probably say yes, so why not? Let's actually try to use it. And hello, sir. I am going to use this now. Thank you. Okay, so we've got the little notch. Do you see the little notch right there on the little red marker? That determines how far the trebuchet is going to fling the rock. So let's see. Well, I didn't hit anything. Okay, reload. How long does it take to... Oh, it takes quite a while, doesn't it? Oh, yes. It takes quite a while. I kind of like the onagers a little bit more as a result of this. And, the same guy that has to... What? I am really surprised. Okay. So the same guy that has to do the cranking of the wooden crank with me, the turning of the wooden crank, the same guy that has to do that is also the one that has to reload with me? Are you serious? Poor guy. That's a terrible job. That is a terrible job. Okay, fine. Let's try a little bit less power. Okay. I think it's quite clear to see that I am pretty awful at using an onager, so I apologize. Let's not do that again. I think we're probably going to try some onagers in the future because they are super fun to watch, especially the flaming ones at night. Yeah, we're definitely going to try those again sometime because that was amazingly enjoyable, actually surprisingly so. And I would like to see more of that, actually. I'd like to see more situations where we can actually use a piece of siege equipment. And maybe in a siege defense, actually. Maybe in a siege defense, but siege defenses are a little bit rare and kind of hard to get into, as I have demonstrated in previous series as well, because generally the AI is quite frugal in its attempts to attack. What? Why is this guy jumping down right here? Are you serious, sir? That was a hugely bad idea. It seems like that seemed like something that Bruce or Barney would do. Wow, I can't believe it. Okay, so we have a number of people up there. We have some people coming down over there as well. Oh yeah, I should also probably mention to you, by the way, that my smithing skill has increased because I actually did a bunch of smithing in my off-screen time to try and get a little bit of extra cash. Someone told me about a new technique for making a good amount of money, and I tried it out. And I'm not entirely sure how it's supposed to work, to be honest, because generally what you mentioned was that you can take your javelins... Oh, nice hit right there. Yeah, you can take your javelins that you've crafted through smithing, and then you can basically buy pretty much every piece of armor in the marketplace, and then you can sell that armor at another town or something along those lines, and apparently that is supposed to get you more money than the javelins themselves. Now, I'm not entirely sure how much money your marketplaces have, but my marketplaces are generally running around with about 50,000 so far. And, well, I guess it could be that the armor has a smaller denomination. So, in other words, you're going to be able to deal with smaller values of cash, and that would probably make quite a bit of a difference. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's the strategy and the thinking behind it. But just know that I tried it out, and I'm not, as I say, I'm not entirely sure how it works just yet. But I suppose the smaller denominations are probably going to be the thing that will really make all the difference. So anyway, there you go. Nice victory for us. No problem at all right there. I did get eliminated, but I wasn't really caring about dying or not in that particular situation, so I'm perfectly happy with it. Anyway, yes, I actually will not be taking any of these militia or anything like that. Don't think it's worth it, to be honest. And we have taken it. All right, so we're basically not going to be doing anything with this. I'm basically just going to go into the castle and get all of our people to offload whatever they want to offload. And let's see actually what the Mr. Kuzate army over here decides to do. Because if he decides to besiege this... Oh, he's not. That is very intriguing to me. I don't know why. Oh, he's defending Omor. That is hilarious. That is actually hilarious. Okay, that's perfect. If he goes... Oh, wow, 126. Do you see that? They have 126 heavy lancers. What? Wow. Okay, that's literally... Wow. That is a pretty significant number, actually. Okay, I'd like to take tile if at all possible, but it's going to be unlikely that I'll be able to do that. There are only 26 defenders in Vladiv Castle. Let's give Tovir this, because this is actually a Sturgian fief as far as I am aware. Yeah, I'm actually not very well versed in the geography of this area, and in general, what faction is supposed to own which fief, because well, as you know, the Sturgians do generally tend to get murdered very, very fast. Okay, so I'm actually starting to share my food now with my army, which is a bit problematic in itself. So he's going to try and take that, isn't he? Yeah, he's going to try and take that. Okay, so if he's going to try and take that, I'll try and take this. Oh, come on, guys. We've got to rush. We've got to rush really, really fast. Let's see if we can do it. Okay, Kanujan. It would actually go to me. I don't know whether to do that. What does he own? He just owns Castle. Oh, he owns Balgard as well, which I think would probably be more useful. So I'm going to make Kanujan the owner of Omor. Seems to make sense. And hopefully I'm going to be able to take this before... What? They took it instantly? Okay, sure. I'm just going to make peace. Why not? I mean, we did take Omor from them. That was my main goal in this entire campaign, by the way, to actually take Omor. And I saw that one of my armies was going over there, so I decided, hey, you know what? I'm just going to try and either distract or just try and literally just pick out something very easy to take. For example, that castle. That castle was very simple to go after. And that was pretty much it. Anyway, I'm going to sell a whole bunch here. As you can see, we have a lot of armor to sell, and as I say, I've literally been buying armor in exchange for javelins, and I think it might be, I mean, it definitely is more efficient in terms of item to cost ratio, or item to sell ratio at least, because you barely have any overflow. So I guess it does make a bit of sense right there. But yeah, anyway, going to disband my army now. There we go. They can decide what they want to do. We're technically in friendly territory now, well, neutral territory, and we can now more accurately focus on other things. I believe Iakis was actually taken back as well, by the way, so that's not particularly good, but, well, we have enough time in the world to be able to eliminate the Aserai whenever we so desire, because as you can see, we have now further consolidated our territory in the center here. Ataconia Castle is actually under siege, but I think we should be all right with that. So if you take a look at our armies right here, you can see they are significant. Almost all of them are over 1,000 every single time I see an army on this screen. And how much combat strength do you bet Vlandia has now? I'm going to give you 5 seconds or so to make your guess, because previously we had about 60,000. So what do you bet we actually have at this point? We actually have 87,000, if you can believe it. Yes, 87,000. And in comparison, Sturgia obviously has 23, Aserai has almost 15,000, Southern Empire has almost 10,000, Northern Empire has 5,000, and I'm going to leave the Khuzait for last because they're most likely going to be the strongest. Britannia has literally nothing. They have 1,400, and the Western Empire has 2,600. What do you bet the Khuzait has? They have almost 29,000 in comparison to our overwhelming combat strength. And I don't actually know how anyone is going to come back from this, so I don't know whether we even need to continue the campaign, to be honest. I have ended series in the past where we have pretty much had the run of the land, but I don't actually see that here. We haven't really had a massive amount of sieging sprees and so on and so forth, because usually what will happen is if your faction becomes overwhelmingly powerful, your vassals will continue to take things again and again and again, and they will not stop, because the enemy is just so dilapidated and demoralized that they just can't fight back. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, and if it does indeed come down to a choice where we have to either end the series or continue, I don't really know. I don't really know at this point. Because we could make a new series, we could do a challenge series or something. I mean, I have a number of ideas about that. A number of you have given me some suggestions as well, so might be kind of fun to try out something like that. But I'm also happy to continue here because, as I say, I don't feel like the Crusade are that weak at this point. I feel like they are still capable of fighting quite viciously, actually, as you could no doubt tell from that previous engagement we had. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.